I got two other surprise sound clips as well. So I think you'll like them.
Just producing.
Yeah, I know. It's like we're actually getting things ready ahead of time. It's almost like I did a little bit of prep for the show. I mean, what do you know?
Well, 3 years in, we're finally
Who
thinking
are
about
you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
It is what it is.
I guess. Well, should we get started?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Well, let's not keep these assholes waiting.
Trekcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable podcast. I'm Chad Waldo. That's Daniel Bardo and Daniel Reyes. Together we are the trio. I don't know. I just totally lost my train of thought.
Are we still calling it Trekcast? I mean, people are.
For those of you who don't know.
Yeah, in the Facebook group, which you should be a part of.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. We have a new topic that we're going to cover today, including one of the new sound clips that goes with that. So
yeah, we got some new sound clips.
I mean,
for those who maybe this is your first time listening, you just need to know this podcast is really about three guys who sit around and talk about anything and everything, cutting through the bullshit. And every once in a while, we talk about Star Trek. So that's.
I do have some food to review later. So.
Yeah, we got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what do you know?
Yeah.
All right, we'll just jump right into the news because I can tell this is going to be a long one.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Attention all hands. It's time for Star Trek news.
All right, so our first news story comes to us from JoeBlow.com. And because 2020 has not taken enough from us yet, it continues to take. Yeah. And now the Noah Hawley Star Trek movie is no longer on the table.
Yep.
And that's from Noah Hawley himself. Talking about how they were very close. They were ramping up for production, and now they're not. Basically, the studio wants to go in another direction. Who knows what that means? He says that he had planned a trilogy of films, and it would have nothing to do with Kirk, nothing to do with Picard. It'd be an entirely new crew, which is what we had heard before. We also heard that there were rumblings that one of the reasons they're scrapping this is that the plot revolved around a virus. So, neat. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
I think the world is all virused out at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then, it's a lot to ask to come up with an entirely new crew and go see the movie, and
Well, there's no theaters. I mean.
Yeah.
At this point, I would pay money to see a movie about a guy who takes his family out to dinner, and they have a nice time, and then they go bowling afterwards, and they go home and they go to sleep. I would love to see that movie.
You can do that right now. It's called the Hallmark.
Movie.
It's called the Hallmark Channel.
No, you can do that in Idaho.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I like the meme that was going around this week, and you whatever side you take on this whole issue, I thought it was hysterical. It's a vaccine so safe we're forcing you to take it. For a virus so deadly, you have to get a test to know that you have it.
I've seen that meme.
I thought that was pretty good. Daniel's not laughing. He's like, "Fuck you." I thought it was pretty funny. So anyway.
All right, well, I'll get to the next news story. So next news story. So we don't get a movie, but we're getting documentaries. This comes from TrekMovie.com, and a Voyager documentary has resumed production, as well as we are getting a spinoff to the DS9 documentary, What We Left Behind.
Spinoff. I read that. I don't know if I'd call it a spinoff. After reading that, they almost made it sound like, well, we have like an extra 40 hours worth of video, and we're just going to release that.
Yeah. They're calling it a spinoff, though. Marketing.
Hey, I want to see more of the writer's room. And that's
it's called. It's called The Other Stuff We Left Behind.
Yeah.
Right.
On the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd pay to see more of the writing room stuff. I thought that was probably the most fascinating part of it. Obviously, seeing the stuff they put together for the season 8 or whatever, but the writer's room part I thought was great.
The working title is What We Left Behind: The Search for More Money.
Yeah. Well, as it always is. I mean, come on.
Yeah, for sure.
So
one
tell
of the
us
cool
about the Tuvix one. I mean, the
Huh?
Voyager one.
Yeah. Well, the Voyager one is kind of interesting because they were shooting earlier this year. They went on the Star Trek cruise in March, right before everything got shut down.
Yeah.
So, and that was also the 25th anniversary of Voyager. So they
Yep.
say they've got
Wow.
some interesting stuff. They've been shooting individual interviews since then. So, okay.
Cool.
They did say they want to do just like they did in the DS9 documentary where they did the high def upgrade to some footage. They would
Mhm.
love to do that with Voyager, but it would require another crowdfunding, is what they're saying. So who knows if we actually get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Whatever.
know why we see so many people doing it online with algorithms, and it's not costing them much money to do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's an algorithm and it's not technically the right way to do it.
Yeah,
So-
but it's the cheap way to do it.
It is the cheap way to do it.
It's the way to get it
And
done.
honestly, most people would not be able to tell the difference.
No,
you know.
exactly.
It like I know about these technical things because my experience. I throw on a Blu-ray, I throw on a DVD, I can barely tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever.
As long as it's not grainy and it doesn't stutter or skip somewhere and the audio matches the video, I could care less.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's getting too good.
Yeah.
It really is. It's getting too good. I can't remember if I told this story on the show or not. If I did, I'm going to tell it again.
Whatever.
But
Do it.
over the summer, I was in a comic book shop in Long Island, and the guy had a big giant high def TV on the wall, and he was playing Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching the fight between Hulk and Thanos, both of which are two characters who do not exist in real life. They're completely digital.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I was watching a video game. It looked like a video game. It didn't look like a movie. It didn't look real. It looked fake.
Yeah.
So I kind of think it's too good. It should be dumbed down a little bit to make it look like real life. When you look around town, it's not in high def. It's I don't know. It looks better than real life when you watch it.
It is. It's nuts.
Too sharp.
Yeah.
I don't like those that TV mode you can put on to where instead of the little bit of a blur you get when things are panning and moving around, it stays perfectly sharp.
Yeah.
That is so unnatural looking to me and very irritating. I don't like that.
And you see everything. I mean, I was in the store the other day, and can't remember which actor it was, but like I could see the chicken pox scar on his face, and it's like I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Well, like when I was working in news is when the switch over to high def happened, and like there was a long time where they were trying to figure out how to do the makeup right because it was different than a standard definition camera. So
exactly. Yeah. And that's still an issue today because now you're into 4K and now you're getting into 8K and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and I mean, and fortunately, we've found the right balance with our show that we just look perfectly natural.
Yeah.
So
just throw a blue light on and there you go.
That's right. And our last news story comes to us from the Tampa Bay Times, and the headline reads: Clearwater man has long claimed that William Shatner is his dad.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy, he legally changed his last name to Shatner, late last year, Peter Shatner, to identify with what he believed was his biological father. There is potentially some reasons why he would think such things. His mom used to work with old Captain Kirk on a TV series in Canada. And so growing up, he was told, well, your dad is either some dude named Chick or Captain Kirk.
Oh boy.
And she was pretty sure it was Kirk.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Didn't William Shatner sell his kidney stone on eBay like 10 years ago?
Yep.
Something like that. Also in 2009, he started looking for his family history on Ancestry.com and put up his DNA. So
he did?
Yeah.
Okay. So why doesn't this guy just...
Where was the question? Yeah.
Yeah. So he finally got around to testing things. So to help us figure out and get to the bottom of little baby Peter, who, Peter's now in his 40s. So little baby Peter, we got paternity expert Maury Povich to help us out. Maury, what do you got?
You are not.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
That's what that
Sorry,
was
Peter.
for.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find chick.
Yep. Or somebody else your mom slept with out back on the top of the trash can. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Peter.
Oh, wow!
Dang!
Wow!
You're just cold-blooded about it.
I know. I'm sorry. Somebody's got to be the asshole here.
Yeah. So, sorry, Pete. Better luck next time.
Yep.
Yeah. I've
Better
got
luck next time. Is that like if he gets reborn or reincarnated? Like he hopes his mom isn't someone who's doing people out back at the studio? What do you mean?
No, when he finds the owner of Chick-fil-A, and,
Yeah.
finds out he's the heir to the chicken empire.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. What would you rather have? Find out your father is Bill Shatner or the owner of Chick-fil-A? I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A.
I would go Chick-fil-A.
Money-wise,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't need Priceline.com.
Nope.
All right. Well, that's all the news stories.
All right. Sounds good. Moving on to the feedback.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
Did
All
you
right,
get any
what do you got?
emails? I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. No, I did. No emails actually. I will say no specific emails, but I will say that two things. One, we do have the show anyway, kind of linked up to this service called Chartable, and Chartable every week sends us an email and it tells us where our current show is charting internationally, everywhere in the
I didn't know
world.
we were doing this. Cool.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time now, actually about a year, and it's only maybe every 2 or 3 weeks that we show up in a ranking somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So over the last week in Canada, our show overall is ranked number 239 in Canada. In Ireland, it's ranked 224. So I don't know. You have to break the 250 number in order for it to show up in this chart that I get. So that's the first time it's happened in 2 or 3 weeks.
Wow.
Oddly enough, yeah, it's pretty good.
That should be our
enough,
tagline.
Yeah.
Trekcast. Bottom of the top.
Yeah.
well, we're so popular in Canada, it should be Chicken Out.
You should check it out.
Chickazoo.
Yeah. See what we're on the boot. Anyway, so what's odd though, and the reason I bring this up because this has happened several times and I've never.
Dan's laughing way too hard about it.
I know because my accent.
All right, new rule. Chad doesn't do accents ever.
I know. Wait until I do my David Ivey later. Anyway, so no. So what's odd about this? The reason I bring it up because this happened before several times. We've been in the top 100 every once in a while, and I don't even mention it. But this one's weird. Specifically, one episode specifically is in the top 250 in Japan. A specific episode.
Is the dog poop?
Nope. It's episode 259, Show and Tell. I don't remember anything spectacular about that particular episode, but whatever. It's number 2.
I don't know. Maybe just hit the right metadata or something.
I don't know. Kind of weird, but anyway.
Now these are audio downloads, or this is YouTube hits. So what is this measuring?
Audio. It's all podcast platform, period. It's just all. So if you look at it, it goes by country to country, right? So in terms of the Canada one, where we're 239, what they're saying is out of all the podcast shows listened to in the last 7 days, we ranked number 239 on that list. That's pretty freaking good. Yeah, that's really good. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked by that, honestly. I don't know how Chartable does that. They have algorithms, obviously, that go and pull from every different podcast type player that they have connections to.
I'm
whatever.
Trying to figure out like what key phrase also works as like a porn search
Yeah.
Probably show and tell.
Show and tell.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what did it right there.
I mean, if we had an episode called Hot Sexy Teens, I'm pretty sure we could break the top 15.
I don't know.
Sexy
Let's
cosplay
find
for
out. I'll
Trek.
name it that this week.
Yeah.
No, name it Star Trek Milfs and Hot Sexy Teens.
There you go.
Oh, gee. Oh my gosh. Well, it's bound to get at least a few more views on YouTube for that title.
Oh, I mean, if I put in Milfs, yeah, we're gonna get
Oh,
a lot.
yeah.
We'll get a lot of new subscribers.
Yeah. Okay, and
Yeah.
so then the other thing on the emails, 34 signups for the Christmas cards. So we have 6 left. That's it.
Nice.
Only 6. And we're going to stop taking emails at some point between today's show and next week's show. Because at some point, people are going to be sending in their submissions and we're going to have too many and we're going to have to email them back and say, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Better luck next year. You didn't
You
get
got
it in
the cards,
fast.
right?
I do have the cards. They're right behind me. I'm not going to show you what they look like. It's a surprise.
Oh, he's teasing.
Right? Isn't it supposed to be? Yeah, it's supposed to be a surprise. Well, it's only to these 40 people who sign up, and that's it. Nobody
right.
else is going to know what this sucker looks like unless they post pics of it. So
Yeah.
that's up to them. You can do that. That's fine. Once you get your card, you can post it.
Yeah.
Um,
But we're all gonna be signing them, guys. So like,
yep, we are.
Chad's got
Get
right
all
now.
mine.
It's his job
Yep.
to sign them. Then they're gonna move down the list and they'll get out to you guys.
Yep. So, and I made a mistake on how I'm collecting all these emails. I could have done it to where they automatically got loaded into an Excel spreadsheet, but my dumbass.
Oh no!
Instead, it's all separate emails.
Yeah.
So I'll type all that up and send it to you or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, yeah, exactly. I'm not going to give it to you in all these different emails.
Here you
That
go.
would
Deal
suck.
with it.
Yeah, exactly. No. I'll get it all typed up into a spreadsheet for you. Anyway, so those are the emails. Nothing else too crazy on that front. I did get a couple of messages because I got some guys who like to message me on Facebook, which is fine.
Yeah.
And the one says, this is about last week's show, right? A couple days ago. So he says, and I'm not going to mention names of these two guys. Well, of this guy in particular anyway, because he doesn't need the criticism. I can take the criticism. So he says, don't know about you, but I found the pronoun lesson in the middle of the episode kind of annoying. By the 32nd century, you would think this kind of thing wouldn't be a problem anymore. Yeah, well, I'll explain.
What is that?
My issue with it. The whole pronoun lesson we got from Adira in the middle of the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Okay,
a
I
couple
may
of
have a
different
counter
thoughts
to you.
about that.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get into that into the topic.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, okay. I think that was actually the only one. I think the other one was, the other one was Andrew Chu in his Tech Deals thing, which if you haven't gone over there and seen that yet, I watched a couple of those episodes finally on YouTube. It's Tech Deals. That's great. If you're looking for computer stuff, go over there. That's great. They do a good job on that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have a couple of donations that came in. One specifically that caused some controversy between the three of us. But the first one from Tim Morris says, "Hey guys, thank you for the continuing great work. Please take this contribution and buy yourself some mulled wine, eggnog, or other Christmas drinky poos. Merry Christmas, chaps from Brighton, UK." So that was nice.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, Tim Morris.
Thank you.
And, yeah, that's awesome. Then we got one from Lumberjack Daryl. All right, so he says, "Merry Christmas, thanks for the show, and happy Life Day. And wouldn't it be great to see Grogu using the Force, throwing Tuvix around like he did those stormtroopers? Thanks again for the podcast, guys." To which I say, bring it on. Someone make me a GIF of Grogu throwing around Tuvix.
No!
That was awesome. So,
I was very hurt by this and almost wanted to immediately give back the money. But then, But then I consulted the rules of acquisition. Yeah, I was reminded of the first rule, which is once you have their money, never
have their money, never give it back.
Never give it back. That's correct. Correct. I was thinking of that. There are no refunds.
Right.
Rule of acquisition number 210 or whatever it is. There are no refunds.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well,
that was awesome.
Speaking of Tuvix, we've got the tournament going. We're in the semifinals now. The current vote is it's the final four. So right now we've got Matrix versus Back to the Future. And then tomorrow we will have The Empire Strikes Back versus Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you want to see how these brackets have all shaped out, the current markup of it is up on the website underneath the blog section.
Cool.
You can pull that up and see how each one of these contests has shaped up over the last 2.5 years that we've been doing this bracket game.
Mhm.
And it's gone forever. I mean, it's cool. I
It
like
has
it.
gone
Don't get me
forever.
wrong, but it's like, God, this is going forever.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's awesome. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so we're
I've
down to
gotten
the
a
final
lot
four.
of crap for not putting Stargate in there.
yeah,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It'd be dead by now anyway, so whatever. But I don't know
Well,
if we still have the same final four, though.
I have to remind everybody that Stargate sucks. So,
Oh, gee. Reach right through the camera and
yeah.
just rip your. All right.
I know.
I love Stargate.
If only you had a Stargate to punch me with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I love Stargate. Stargate is awesome. So
we'll see. Right now, the Matrix is leading, but it's not by much, and it's still very early on in the day for the voting. So we might get some mail-in ballots that'll overturn that.
How about a suitcase of mail-in ballots? In the
There
middle
you
of the
go.
night?
A whole suitcase full.
a truck that pulls up to the counting booth in the back.
Hey,
Actually, you know
hey,
what?
Did somebody order ballots? I've
I'm
got
gonna-
ballots here.
Yeah. How many more do you need? No, I'm just gonna hack into the Dominion servers at your house, Daniel, and change the votes on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I run. Me and Ben Cisco with the Dominion.
Exactly. Isn't that
Just Wei Yun and I
those
just
things?
counting them up right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a
I'm,
perfect name.
I'm picturing Daniel and Jeffrey Combs just in the pajamas in the middle of the night, just counting ballots.
Yep.
There's a lot of
These-
debate of whether or not we need.
These are no
burritos
good.
right
These are no good. Get rid of these.
now. Exactly.
Dumar's in the back, sipping on some Canar.
Yeah.
I
there
don't
you
give
go.
a shit. Just get this done. Anyway.
I posted a meme about Damar, and he's like drinking, and he's talking to Wei Yun, and he's like, "Hey, let's play finish the Canar." And Wei Yun looks at the bottle, and he's like, "It's already halfway empty." He's like, "I'm winning already."
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Poor Dumar.
Yeah.
Poor Damar. Poor Damar. There was like half a season where it was just straight up hookers and blow. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all he
That's
was.
all he
Yeah,
was.
that's it.
The
Yep.
best years of his life.
Yep, you couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. All right.
That's funny.
Well, should we get to the topic or topics? Kind of.
Yeah, we're gonna get to our first topic, and here's the first surprise.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
This is Trekcast. We have to do a rock version of everything.
Yeah. Hey.
Here it comes.
Nice.
Isn't that good?
That is good. That's good.
All right, so of course our first topic of our two topics today is going to be Mando, because we can't get away from it. It's the largest
Right.
topic in the Facebook group right now. By the way, this is Trekcast. You haven't all the
Yeah.
It's not
changed your
Trekcast.
topic.
It's a Trekcast where we talk
Not
about
Trekcast.
No, it's
not
MandoCast.
Hello and welcome to MandoCast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Mandalorian podcast. I am your host, Laniel Dumbardo. With me, as always, Wad Choldo and Raniel Diaz.
Childo. Oh, geez, that sounds horrible. Childo. Holy
Or would it
shit.
be pronounced Wad? Wad Chaldo?
Caldo Wad. Yeah, Caldo Wad.
Childo sounds like a movie starring Pauly Shore.
Yeah, that's bad.
True.
Carrot Top.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
God.
so- Friday night, the tragedy. Mandalorian. Was it?
Hated it.
Or was it?
Excellent.
I,
Oh.
of course, think it was excellent.
It was
Excellent.
excellent. It was
I mean, how could
excellent.
you not think that was an excellent episode? That was just an awesome episode.
We got Dad Bod Boba Fett.
yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
You know, that's the thing. We have to do the opposite with the Mandalorian. Remember, I started the thing last week where it's like,
Yep.
all right, say one thing nice about this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, we each have to say something not nice about the Mandalorian. And
Okay, that's
Ooh.
gonna be hard.
so you said Dad Bod Boba.
Dad Bod
I'm gonna,
Boba.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he needs pants.
Yeah.
Just watching him running around in a dress with the armor on, I was like, I don't know.
You know one thing this season I have noticed about the Mandalorian that I think is kind of bad?
What's
They're
that?
really leaning in on Baby Yoda and how cute he is. Like, there's way too many cutaways of that.
Yeah.
Like, before it was a lot less and better
Mm-hmm.
because it was less, so they
Mm-hmm.
need to stop that.
Okay.
Yeah. Too much cuteness.
Too much cuteness.
Yeah.
My bad thing to say about it is Return to the Droids. You know, now we've got these black trooper droids. They're robots.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were going to be clones, or I thought they were going to be infused with midichlorians or something like. No, they're just freaking droids.
Yeah.
It's Return of the Sadukai, or whatever you call those little things. You know, whatever. It's they're just droids.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy about them. So I don't understand. I guess, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But that part about it, I was like, oh, really? That they're just droids? Like, that sucks.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing new.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yep. And the Razor Crest got kaplooey. I was really sad to see that.
You know
That
what's funny about that? Hasbro has the master license for Star Wars toys.
Right.
And they have something, they have this program called HasLab. And there's, you know, certain products that would never normally make it into production because it's just too small of an audience. Okay, so they'll pick a project and they'll basically do it like a GoFundMe, and if you commit to buying it, excuse me, and it's like, all right, if we get 600 people who commit to buying it, we'll make it. And then when they hit that mark, all right, if we get 700, we'll include this feature. Okay, we made that. If we get 800, we'll include this. So the Razor
isn't
Crest,
that how they did the sales barge?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Razor Crest, they just finished crowdfunding.
Of course they did.
And like a zillion people signed up for this thing, and it's got all these features. It's going to be amazing. It's not going to come out for like another year, except it's gone.
Yeah.
They blew it up. Oh wait, we were supposed to do a spoiler warning. Somebody was complaining about a spoiler warning.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, come on. If that's a problem for you, then you've never listened to the show. This is your first time listening to the show. Sorry. Now you've been warned from here on until infinitum. We are going to spoil the shit out of whatever came out this last week.
That's true.
Movies,
That's
shows,
true.
whatever. So
That's true. This is a review. This is a review show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Supplemental.
yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of neat that you know, Grogu or whatever was sitting on that rock lighting it up, just meditating.
Yeah, he couldn't get.
Who do you think he was? Who do you think he was talking to, though?
I've seen so many fan theory
Could
videos.
be anything, yeah. Well, it could be that he wasn't talking to anybody at all. It was just that he was sending a signal, right?
Yeah, just join the force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So please come here, kind of thing. Which I don't know what they're going to do with that now. I mean, that's kind of the exciting thing about this. That's probably the best part about this episode. Not only did they blow up the Razor Crest, they blew up what the last 2 episodes of this series for this season is going to be, because you have no clue now. Up until now, it's been, well, every single episode is kind of like its own little mini Western. And yeah, it builds on the last ones, but it's all going to be its own little self-contained story, right? It wraps it up in 30 minutes, which that's another thing I'll say it's bad about this show. It's too freaking short.
Yeah.
It really
I like
is.
it that way, man.
Yeah, I part of me likes that. Part of me is like, that's it? Gee, you just started.
Yeah,
It's so damn
I
short.
know. I know. I got to the end of this episode, and I did the thing where I was watching on my phone, and I did the thing where I tapped the screen to see where the status bar is.
Yeah.
There's like 3.5 minutes left, and I'm like, I know 3 of that is credits. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, my favorite is do you guys ever watch read The Onion?
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah.
Okay. So they did a story about Giancarlo Esposito, the Grand Moff Tarkin, Midian, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy in the headline was Introduction of Carlo Esposito suggests main characters are now totally fucked. Because in every series that he's in, that's what he does.
That's what he does. Yeah. Yep. He's a perfect bad guy.
Oh, he's great.
He is good.
He's great.
Yep.
But I did think this week, and I wanted to ask you guys and our audience, eventually Grogu, Baby Yoda, is going to be talking, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to voice him?
Bobcat Goldsworth.
That is a good answer. I really want more Freeman.
Hey. That's an accent.
Yeah.
Stop. Continue, Daniel.
I said
I'm sorry.
Freeman.
Raniel.
Yes. Morgan Freeman would be great for Baby Yoda.
Oh, jeez.
I remember the first time I saw Dinter Sharon. He was a tall drink of water. with a Beskar spoon in his ass.
Oh my. Oh my.
So if people can feedback in who you want to voice Baby Yoda, because that's happening at some point. Yeah. If it goes long enough, it's happening.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe
Antonio
Banderas. It'll.
What's
I have
going
used
on
the
there?
force today.
Yeah. There you
Probably
go.
should have muted that first.
Yeah,
Probably should have, but that's okay.
Yeah. But it was a good episode, and it was also brought to us by Robert Rodriguez, was the director. Love that guy. So.
All right. Anything else to cover on Mando before we get back to Trekcast? Awesome episode. Don't know where it's going from there. Obviously, he's got to get another ship, but for now, he's on what is that called? The Slaver 2 or whatever it is that Boba Fett has.
Slave 1.
Slave 1. Yep. So.
Or as Lando Calrissian says, he's not too crazy about the name of that ship.
Yeah.
What?
There's an old robot chicken where it's Boba Fett and Lando Calrissian standing there, and he's like, yeah, it's a great ship, Boba, but I'm not too crazy about the name of it.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So, it occurred to me that a lot of people were not happy with how the Luke Skywalker story ended in the most recent trilogy. And Mark Hamill is young enough that we could see him again. How would you guys feel about him showing up in The Mandalorian?
Well,
I mean Skywalker's still around in this time period.
Yeah, but Skywalker isn't 60. Skywalker's 30 in this time
Well,
period.
That's why they're going to use Sebastian Stan to play a young
That's what everybody
Skywalker.
hopes.
Yeah, that's what everybody hopes. I mean, the guy does look like Sebastian Stan,
the Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier. If you see him with his hair done just right, he looks like Luke Skywalker.
He does.
Yeah. I mean, he really does.
Yeah.
And he's already signed up to do Marvel TV stuff with.
He's already in the family, so it makes.
So he's
sense.
already there. It would make sense.
Why did you guys tell me this? Why did you do this to me?
Why? Because now you want it.
Now I want them to just completely disown the most recent trilogy and just do it over again in this time period.
Everybody else wants that.
Yeah, everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that.
Now, I will say this. I did enjoy the latest trilogy. I thought it was okay. There's a lot of things I had problems with it. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. How they kill Han is freaking ridiculous. How Luke dies is kind of dumb. How he is in isolation all this time is also kind of dumb. But aside from the main plot, it was okay. So, with that said, would I want them to redo it? Again, this gets into that realm of been there, done that, give me something different. And I think they have a way of being able to do that with The Mandalorian, even if they never introduce Luke Skywalker. Who I would rather them introduce is Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's how we start the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Right?
You can't, because Obi-Wan Kenobi's dead at this point.
Ah, shit, that's right.
Post Return of the Jedi.
That's before. Damn it, I knew I was going to say that wrong.
And Kenobi's in Boston getting some Dunkin' Donuts.
That's right.
Yeah, he is. That's right. That's what brought that to my mind is they're doing something with that. Anyway, shit. Well, then have
he's having a wicked pizza.
I guess that would be the way Ahsoka Tano has her thing start, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. For people who don't know, they're shooting the Obi-Wan show right now in Boston. That's why we're saying this.
Yeah, of all places, yeah.
They're not doing good Kenobi hunting. So
Well, I guess that's how you do an offshoot with Ahsoka Tano then, right? And that's how you would get, I mean, they've already talked about doing her own show. Which I thought Rosario Dawson's did great last week. I thought that was awesome.
She did great.
She did.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I still think Cory Booker is just glaring at her, saying you're a traitor.
well, he said that in some interview somewhere that he's still trying to get her into Trek somehow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
yeah, maybe she can yell at Michael Burnham.
Oh, please, somebody yell at fucking Michael Burnham.
Oh, I guess we're gonna have to talk about her soon, huh?
Yeah.
I had this fantasy that they recast Saru and put that Giancarlo Esposito as Saru just so he can like down talk her the entire time in that cool way that he does it.
Yep.
Michael Burnham, you have failed to understand.
Okay, I guess we're switching gears, right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Here we go. Staying with the rock team.
Nice.
Say what you want about the JJ movies. I love their soundtrack.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Pacific Rim.
A little bit, yeah. I love the rock interpretations of any Trek theme. Honestly, they're so good.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is good. Yeah.
That one's really good. So I got both of those, by the way, off of YouTube. So if you're interested in finding the Mando one or the Trek one, you can just search for them. You know, rock.
Well, that's the Trek highlight. We're done, right?
That's it. That was the best part of last week's show. That didn't have that on it. So. All right, so season 3, episode 8. It's the 37th episode of Discovery. Called The Sanctuary. It was supposedly the 500th episode of any Trek series, and they totally just didn't think about it. Don't care. So here's the synopsis. Book receives a distress signal from his brother Kiam, who says their home planet Kiwajanawanabi is being threatened by the Emerald Chain, a syndicate of Andorians and Orions led by Osira. Kiwajan's harvest has been devastated by floating locusts that have come in from the sea due to climate change. So there's your hook into politics today. Caused by the burn. And Kiam made a deal with Osira to repeal the locusts in exchange for Kiwajani's transworms, all the ones that he's been saving and bringing to their planet. I don't understand that. This caused a rift between the two brothers, and civilizations that receive help from the Emerald Chain often collapse. So Discovery travels to their home planet, trying to help them or whatever. I don't know what they're doing there. And after a fight, Kiam agrees to disobey Osira in exchange for Discovery helping to repair the locusts. During this time, Discovery keeps Osira from taking Ryan, the Andorian with his lobes cut off, by attacking her with Book's ship, the dumbest plot device of all time. But she sees through the ruse and promises retaliation against the Federation before retreating because she's not a fucking idiot. Meanwhile, Colbert studies Giorgio, who appears to be ill and is experiencing blackouts and flashbacks. She thinks she's ill. She's sweating while she's laying there, and her body's literally like shifting between universes or something. I don't know what's going on there, but
she's pixelating.
Yeah. She's no longer
on the
4K
show. They straight up said what's wrong with her. They gave
Yeah. She can't be in that universe because of the distance between the mirror universe and that current universe. Is right? Am I guessing it right?
Very close. Very close.
Well, tell us, because I don't care.
Okay. Well, they showed it in their like special clip that they always show.
Yeah.
Basically, what they say is that she's the only person ever to not just switch universes, but also time travel, and because of it, she's facing these sort of issues. Apparently, it was very common in the temporal Cold War that these issues would start popping up after a lot of time traveling. So, the fact that she's done both, you know, they assumed something bad was going to happen.
So she's disintegrated.
Yeah,
and David Cronenberg knew it the whole time.
Right. Well, because apparently he's into that. So
yeah.
The other thing that was interesting about the Will Wheaton show is they broke down this episode and made it more understandable for me. And one of the things they said is basically the Emerald Chain is denying Book's planet a special pesticide Yeah. And,
No
and because of
Monsanto
that,
for you.
huh?
No Monsanto for you.
Yeah, basically. And because of that, that's why all the crops are threatened and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah. I think if they had mentioned a line kind of like that, that would have made it a lot easier to understand why the urgency and everything. Like, yeah, we might be okay for a month or two, but it's gonna run out quick.
Yeah.
Also, there was apparently that was Margot Kidder's granddaughter, I believe.
I think it's her niece.
Yeah, that's her niece. Yeah. There's been a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
made a post on Twitter about this. Why is it suddenly in all the new Trek that the sexy women are the evil ones? Like, I mean, that's true. Really hot women are usually evil, but
that's true.
that's the way it's going in the show and all these shows now too.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because seriously, that emerald chain, I forget her name. What was her name?
Osira.
Osira, yeah. She's essentially the same character as Giorgio, just evil. You know, she's a woman in charge who takes no shit and does anything.
She's the same character as the Romulan in Picard.
Right. So they definitely have a type. These writers definitely have a type.
They do. I want to know what their history on Pornhub looks like.
Oh God, I do not. No. I don't need to know anybody's history, man.
No.
Romulan Milf.
Yeah.
That's the name of the episode right there. No, so one thing that Culber says that's interesting while he's examining Giorgio that I thought was a nice little I don't know if it obviously doesn't mean anything with what we just said about what happened on the Will Wheaton show, but at the time I thought, oh, I've heard that before when he called it like a encephalid. He didn't call it encephalograph, but he called it something along those lines, and that is exactly what happens with Tuvix in the Voyager episode Flashback, where the doctor says that same exact thing, and he puts like a little thing on his head to kind of monitor his brain activity and all of that.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought at that point that it was going to be some sort of a mental virus that David Cronenberg put into her head during that interview, but I've heard a lot of stuff going around since the episode about how they're killing Giorgio off, and what does that mean? No, they're not killing her off. They're just going to have to send her back in time. They know how to do it. They had a temporal Cold War, for God's sakes. They know how to send her back in time. Right. So they're going to send her back to Ash Tyler, and that's how Section 31 is going to get started. And that'll probably happen in the next 3 episodes. 3 or 4 episodes. We only got 4 episodes left. So it'll probably happen by the end of this season. Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, don't forget, they're going to have a long talk about how they love each other and they're there to support each other before they send her off. So we'll have that to look forward to.
Yeah, so that's one of the subplots. The other subplot was the one with Adira, and we need to talk about this a little bit because I'm of 2 minds of it, okay?
Okay.
So, and it's okay for me to hold 2 opposing views at the same time. I can do that because I'm a human and I have logic and reason on my side. So the first side of it is if I'm a member of the LGBTQFU community, then I would be kind of pissed on how they've portrayed this character and her lover Gray, because they portrayed it as this big thing, and she's non-binary, and it's the first one in Trek, and it's this big historical thing. They've portrayed it as this big deal, when in the end, it's actually would make common sense to refer to Adira as they, because she's not herself anymore. She's got a symbiote in her with memories and lifelong history of several different people, right? She's no longer one person. She's all of them. So it's got nothing to do with whatever her sexual identity is or whatever one of the 53 genders she decides to be today. It's just the fact that she literally has multiple people living inside of her in that symbiote. So that just kind of makes common sense.
I thought that's what she was talking about at first.
Yeah. And that's how they kind of portrayed it a little bit. So they've really kind of glossed over this. So like I said, if I was a member of that community, I'd be a little miffed that they're giving it short shrift. They're not making it that big. They're making it a deal while they're also making it like anybody would think that's common sense, right? So that part of it. So I have that view of it.
Okay, I'm gonna have some counters for you, but go ahead.
Well, I got another view of it too, right? Okay. So the other part of me, the other side of this, is annoyed. Kind of like one of the guys I mentioned before in our feedback, from the standpoint of why does this have to be a thing, right? It just has to be a thing. They have to bring it up. Someone's got to lecture somebody else on how they want to be identified.
Okay.
And it's the identification thing that drives me a little nuts sometimes, because people are whoever they are, and they can be whoever they are. And I don't want to hear a lecture about how they feel they are or who they think they are that day, because it doesn't change my perspective on them. They're standing there, they're buying bananas, fine, whatever. I don't care. That's great. That's wonderful. Sorry if I've offended you. Be offended. It happened, right? Get over it. Move on. Nothing intentional, not trying to be a dick, but it really doesn't matter to me how you feel today, unless you're like a close friend and we're having an intimate conversation, which is the nice thing about these scenes with Adira that gets lost in all of this we have to lecture you thing. Again, it's the we're telling you instead of showing you thing that's always a problem with this series. But I do like how Culber and Stamets have kind of become the parents over Adira. You know, it's like they're the
over Adira, right?
Yeah, they're the space parents over Adira, and they're always kind of watching out for her, and they're always kind of around. I think there's something very endearing about that. I do enjoy that a little bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me the two guys kiss while she was sleeping. I don't care. It was a nice scene. It's fine. Yeah. That part of it was great because they were just showing us. Yeah, they were just showing us how that relationship is happening instead of telling us, right? And so that part was great. So like I said, I got two opposing views on this.
Okay.
Anyway,
so I definitely do have counters for you. So I watched the Will Wheaton show, and they talked about this scene specifically.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Huh?
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that was kind of interesting is that, you're saying that's like they're acting like that's their fathers, right?
Yeah.
They literally refer to Anthony and Wilson as their dads.
Yeah.
Both actors, because they all kind of hang out.
Oh, Gray and Adira.
Yeah.
The actresses, the
actors,
and they play. Yeah. Cool.
The other thing was Will Wheaton pointed out that those two and himself and maybe like one other person, he said, are the only people ever to know what it's like to be a teenager on Star Trek. Like consistently. Not like just a guest spot. So yeah. Well, I guess Alexander and Jake. So two more. So it's a very small club.
Nog. Yeah, and Nog. Yeah.
But it's a very small club within that.
Club. Yeah, it is a small
club. So that's cool. Now, what I would say to everything that you were saying about that is that scene was not for you, right?
No.
It is for people in that community who have those struggles. And while yes, in the future it shouldn't matter, it probably wouldn't. It wouldn't be a big thing, but representation matters. Like I know myself, I would love to see a Hispanic Avenger, or I'm waiting for I would like the Blue Beetle in Justice League because it's Jaime Reyes. He's Hispanic. It's great, but we have yet to have that, right? We've had Black Panther. We're gonna have Shang-Chi. Still none of me, right? So it matters. It's nice to see.
I get that. I do understand that.
And that option is not there right now. Yeah. So for people in that community who deal with that in real life and have to go through those conversations in real life, having an example scene like that in a show that they love helps. So does it matter in the future? No, it doesn't at all. But it gives them something. And then the other thing that they said in the Will Wheaton show was that at that point in that actor's life, they were going through that exact same scenario with their family because this was shot like over a year ago. And so they were coming out as non-binary to their family and explaining that to them. So it was a very emotional and very real resonating scene for them. So even to the point that apparently Anthony Rapp kept looking at them and would be like, hey, are you okay? Do we need a minute? And yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they're powerful scenes. I will say, like I said, I have two opposing views of it. There's parts of it that are nice, and that are tender moments, and those are good. But anyway, point taken. So understood.
You're getting Jessica Cruz in Green Lantern on HBO.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep. She's going to be one of the featured Green Lanterns.
Oh,
So,
cool. Well, that's nice. And if we get Miles Morales, I mean, that's halfway there.
Yep.
Now we're going to take percentages. We're not there because he's only 50%. It's just the name and not the. I mean, oh my lord.
You know, you keep forgetting Lieutenant Ayala.
Yeah.
From Voyager.
Yeah.
And it hurts me as the biggest Lieutenant Ayala fan out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or what's her name in TNG who spilled coffee on Picard and we never saw her again.
Right, because it was fine.
Yeah.
Apparently it wasn't.
Yeah. Picard had her blown out the airlock.
Exactly. Jordy really liked her.
On today's Unsolved Mysteries. Anyway. All right, so those are two of the subplots. The main thing that's going on, well, there's another subplot, I guess, before we get to the main overarching plot, and that was Detmer. One thing that this episode actually did well, even though I kind of didn't like it, and we never played the
hated it.
But so I didn't like it, but this part they did well. And the part of the episode that they did well is it was broken up into chunks, a little bit here and a little bit there. And really at the end of the day, Burnham doesn't save the day. She just has an idea, whatever. Mm-hmm. Everybody else coming together in those separate little chunks is what did it. Tilly gets a little bit of her moment as first officer, although, you know, she does the wrong fucking thing. Right. I mean, what if instead of us firing on them, we let the ship in the shuttle bay go out there and fire on them and say, oh, that wasn't us. Never mind. Yeah. Our pilot is piloting the ship. Oh my, you know, like how fucking stupid is that?
That was Tilly, nonsense.
That's a stupid thing to say, Tilly. And Saru, you're an idiot captain for going along with it, because the second you get back to Starfleet headquarters and Vance hears that, he's going to say, okay, this is the second time someone on your ship has gone rogue. Tilly is no longer the first officer. Saru, you're no longer the captain. You're the first officer. Here's your new captain. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And he puts someone in charge of that ship.
I did like the comedy of errors of Saru trying to figure out his
oh, that was great.
That
was great.
Yeah.
Hit it then.
Carry on.
Execute. Yeah. I what is he going to come up with? That's a whole topic right there. But anyway, so no, we get Detmer.
Oh, I think he should. I think he should take "I have spoken."
I have spoken. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That would be funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she kind of comes into her own. She's back to her old self again. She's overcome her fears because she's faced them. And when you face your fears, you overcome your fears. That was kind of nice. They kind of shoved it in your face, whatever. It was cool. I liked it. And by the way, the actor who plays Ryan, the Andorian with the lobes cut off, and is married to Mary Wiseman, Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly. Yeah.
Yep.
Tilly's
yeah.
That's Mr. Tilly.
It's Mr. Tilly. Yep.
It's Mr. Tilly.
Tilly's husband. So anyway,
I hope that catches fire online, that people refer to him as Mr. Tilly.
Mr. Tilly, that'd be hysterical.
So do you think what's her name? Detmer. Do you think she's gonna shut off the programmable matter display on Discovery?
Oh no, I think she really enjoyed using those Oculus Rift controllers she was using. Those were literally Oculus Rift controllers she had in her hand that she was using to fly that ship. I think that's what she's going to do.
I want somebody to recut that scene and add Danger Zone from Top Gun.
There you go. So is she no longer Venom? What happened?
No. She's back to her old self. She's fine. She's healed. Heal thyself, as they say. There's no better way to make yourself feel better than to steal a ship from the cargo bay and go blow some shit up. So,
I mean, it's what I do.
Yeah. So to the main plot, we get Osiris showing up at the planet. Here's the reveal of the big bad evil whoever this season, right? What are we, 8 episodes in, and we finally see who the baddie is of the episode.
It took a while to see Thanos, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and she's not that big. I don't know. She's not someone to be afraid of. I mean, she tucks tail and runs off just because Book's little ship is firing on her.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's not very powerful, is it?
No.
And of course, she sees through the bullshit they're doing with, it's not a Federation ship firing on you, which is a total crock of crap. But, I don't feel threatened by her at all, or the Emerald Chain for that matter. Maybe they're a bigger deal than that this episode reveals. Maybe they have more ships and more dilithium. But if they're running out of dilithium, they really can't afford to jump around all over, warp around all over the place while the Discovery is warping or jumping around all over the place and taking ships out when they're on their own, which is exactly what the Discovery should do next. Let's take the Emerald Chain out. Let's actually show a scene of putting 32nd century shields and 32nd century photon torpedoes, which apparently they're still called because that's what she's firing on the planet. I don't know what to think about that. Call them something else. It's been 1,000 years. Call them something else. Anyway, so we'll see. That's what the next season or next episode should be, though, is them jumping around, just taking out her ships left and right, and she's capitulating. War over. So lasted less time than the Klingon War. But anyway, what do you guys think about the main plot with what's going on down the planet, the locusts, the two brothers fighting? It was kind of like Game of Thrones, where we got exactly. I could care less, but it's like that Game of Thrones between the Mountain and the other guy, the guy with the scars on his face. The fight scene.
I feel like if they were gonna do this storyline, it should have been earlier in the season as like an introduction to Book. To get to know him better.
Yeah.
He uses his force a lot.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. They dropped his first name. If you caught that, his first name is Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So he's named after an Earth city, Cleveland. Okay, so he is human. And then 15 minutes later, somebody calls him by some other name, and he goes, "No, I don't go by that name anymore. I'm Cleveland Booker."
Yeah.
So well, they love to do that in New Trek. Everybody's got like 4 names.
Yeah. So it's like, what's the story with this guy? What's his real name? Where is he really from? Is he human? Is he not human? Is he?
He's not human.
Is he? Then why is he named after a city in Ohio?
Well, his real name on the planet anyway was something like Din DiGiorno. I don't know what the hell I can't.
Din DiGiorno. It's like a Mandalorian pizza.
Yeah. So
it's not delivery. It's Din DiGiorno.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, his brother calls him some other Muslim-sounding name, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they're combining the Gaia theory and Muslim traditions and praying and the Force all into one in whatever species he is. So he wanted to be called Cleveland Booker because he's a courier and he books things. And Cleveland just sounded cool because you probably watched a rerun about cat.
Yeah. If he says, "What can Book do for you?" I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, that would be great. I should get an audio clip for that. What can Book do for you?
Yeah, I still think he's a better boyfriend than Ash Tyler. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to compare the two, it's not even close.
It's not even close.
Ash Tyler sucks. I mean, I even use that as a password.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have to change your password now.
No, well, there's more to it than that, but I mean, that's part of it. Yeah. Ash Tyler sucks is part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I also really like that actor. I hope to see him in other things in the future.
Yeah, he's good.
David Aja. Good. I can't wait till he's in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Ryan's little conversation with Saru and Tilly about anytime you deal with the Federation or with Starfleet, there's always strings attached, and he kind of views Starfleet as evil. I saw a lot of stuff kind of going around, or as bad guys. I saw a lot of stuff going around that's just because nobody can trust them anymore because they can't keep to their word or they can't do what they originally said they were going to do 120 years ago. Or is it that there's something a little nefarious about the Federation, Starfleet, and Admiral Vance?
It's big government. That's the thing. It's big government. And whenever you have a big government, you have small areas that don't agree with the direction that big government is going. And because they're a small area or a small group of people, they're not the majority. They don't have the say in what happens. I mean, imagine just for a minute, imagine, and I'm not talking about the Federation we watch in this show. Just think of 24th century Federation. So you got the Federation Council, okay, and they're discussing what to do about a certain situation. And you got the representative from Earth, and they speak, and then you have the representative from Vulcan, and they speak, and then you have the representative from, I don't know, Barzon. It's like, yeah, you get your 2 minutes, Barzon, but in the end, we're gonna do what Earth and Vulcan want to do, because they're the important members. They've been here for 150 years, and you've only been here for 23 years, and you're a warp capable society, but you've only been warp capable for 30 years, so you don't bring as much to the table as these other worlds. So I mean, I think we all like to think about the Federation as this great organization, but I'm sure, like any organization, there's categories. You have Class A planets, Class B planets, Class C planets. So I don't think everyone is going, even Federation members, I don't think everybody is going to be thrilled all the time with everything that the Federation's doing.
No.
Right. I would also say Star Trek has a long history of really wanting to turn the Federation into the Empire.
I would be pissed if it turns out that Admiral Vance is a bad guy.
Yeah, but
let's not pull a Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but I mean, even back in the day, like they loved doing these evil admirals, and they're corrupt, and they're gonna ruin Starfleet, or the Federation Council did sign off on this horrible thing.
Yeah.
So
wasn't Conspiracy in season 1, or was that season 2 of? I always forget which.
Whatever. It was still when Roddenberry was around.
Yeah.
So he signed off on it. So So if people get mad that they eventually do that, it goes with the history, man.
It does.
Yeah. Everything you love is terrible, apparently.
Well, eventually everything you love turns to dust, and everything you hate turns to stone. So anyway,
you live long enough to become the villain.
Yep.
Harvey Dent.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
It's accurate.
It is very accurate.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had for that episode. It was another wah for me. I'm really hoping the last 4 here, because we have 5. We've got a 2-parter coming up, Terra Firma, Part 1 and Part 2. Well, they don't call them Part 1 and Part 2, but they call Episode 9 and 10 both Terra Firma, and they've yet to tell us who's directing it. Same thing with Episode 11, The Citadel. Don't know who's directing it. Episode 12, The Good of the People, Jonathan Frakes directing that one. And Episode 13, the final one on January 7th, will be by Olatunde Asomani, who's done what, like 2/3 of all Discovery?
Yeah, no kidding.
Episodes. So it seems like.
Yeah, and I think some Picard too, if I remember right.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, she's done a lot. She's definitely a go-to. Her and Jonathan Frakes both are the go-tos.
Yeah. So do we need to go around the room and say what was something nice?
Something nice about it?
Yeah.
2 things that were nice about it. I like the fact that Detmer's kind of back to her old self. I didn't like the pouty, uncommittal, don't know what I'm doing, gonna fall apart Detmer. I didn't like that. And that storyline seemed like it wasn't going anywhere. So I'm glad they kind of came full circle, and now she's back to herself. So I like that part.
Yeah.
And I like the space dads. Cruz and Stamets, Wilson or Colburn and Stamets anyway.
Yeah.
Those are good scenes.
Dan, go ahead.
You've been kind of quiet in this part of the whole review.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the comic relief with Saru looking for his engage.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's gonna continue to try them out, or if he's just gonna settle on one relatively quickly. I don't know. This could be the remember there was like
two got it, dude, like Michelle Tanner.
Yeah. But you remember when the Doctor spent like 2 seasons trying to pick a name?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then never did.
Right.
So I'm wondering if it'll go that route. But right now I'm enjoying that.
Yeah. I would say I really like that they let Colbert do some doctoring.
Yeah.
In his medical jargon. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
And I like also that, like, apparently he's caught up with current technology and medical techniques, and he's fine. He's not, he's not the shaman from 1,000 years ago.
Right.
So,
That's why we didn't see him for 2 episodes. He was in his quarters reading.
Yep.
he was on Phoenix Online or whatever,
Yeah.
taking his online courses.
He was taking the multiple choice questions until he got them all right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like that. I did like the scene with the Dira going over the pronouns. I thought that was nice. And I did enjoy the comic relief of Saru as well. I am hoping for more Jet Reno because it's been a while.
Oh man.
Yeah.
She's considered a notable guest on this show at this point. She's not even considered a reoccurring role.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
That makes me wonder how they got her over there, and then like her COVID protocols if she's barely in it.
Well, she's not like doing stand-up comedy right now, so I imagine she was just hanging around for the 3 months they were shooting and
probably
having a good time. As a vacation for her. She worked 4 out of the 30 days. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And who knows? They could have just filmed all her scenes in 2 days and been done with it. Even though they're stretched out.
Maybe she doesn't come back in till like the very end. So like, she shoots a few scenes and then done, and then comes back a month later. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I do have an update on our matchup or semifinals matchup right now in the tournament.
Oh.
It is now tied at 11 votes each. So
between the Matrix and Terminator Judgment.
No, Matrix and Back to the Future.
Matrix and Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So you can vote for that over on the Facebook group, obviously. But if you don't like Facebook, if you don't like Facebook and you kind of don't have that in your life, but you do have the Instagram, then you can go vote over there too. Mm-hmm. Votes are happening on that platform as well.
I've had some interesting votes this week because we haven't had as much of the tournament. So like I posted a picture of the Enterprise and I put, "What's your favorite part about Star Trek? The lightsabers or the TARDIS?" The TARDIS won.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think for our final round, when we get down to the final 2,
it'll be next week. Yeah.
We'll post that on Twitter as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll have all 3 of those platforms: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and we'll post those. We'll post that poll up all at the same time across all 3 for the final.
And that'll be the best sci-fi movie ever.
Yep. It'll be wrong.
Yeah, I know. For a lot of people, it'll be wrong.
Well, every time I make a comment about it on Twitter, I always put hashtag spoiler, it's Wrath of Khan. And that's the whole hashtag.
Yeah, nice.
So,
nice.
But, oh well.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that's the show.
Yeah.
Call into us 816-287-0448. Leave us a voicemail. We will play it on the show. Every single voicemail we get gets played at this point because we don't get any.
Right.
I don't know if it's because people are shy or what, but anyway, it's the easiest. We've got to be the most accessible podcast there is. There's like 5 million ways you can get a hold of us, and we'll talk about it on the show. So
that's why we're the bottom of the top.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
You can write to us email-wise, trekcasttng@gmail.com, or chatiswrong@gmail.com. That's where you want to send your hate mail, by the way. Then, of course, we're on Facebook as Trekcast. We're on Instagram as TrekcastTNG, and we're on Twitter as Trekcast. I think it's just straight Trekcast. I don't know if it's got a TNG on Twitter or not.
Anymore. Yeah.
Nah, you'll find it.
No, it's the same as the Instagram.
Yeah, it is the same. Yeah.
If you can't find it, just Google 239th best podcast. It should come right up.
Yep. So, and of course, we're over on YouTube as well. So, just Trekcast TNG over on YouTube too. So, lots of ways to watch, consume, get a hold of, and rant.
Mm-hmm.
With that said,
dismissed. That's a Starfleet expression for get out.
Nice.
I feel like I need a more elaborate one. Yep. See you guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can. Check us out at Trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.
Hey guys, so we are doing something kind of cool. Chad and Dan and myself have decided that we want to send some of you guys Christmas cards. So what we are doing is we've got 40 slots, and if you would like to be on our Christmas card list, go to Trekcast.com, click on We Ship You Something, and fill out the contact form. The first 40 people to fill it out will get a Christmas card from Trekcast. So hurry up, sign up. It's completely free. We just want to do this for you guys. It's been a rough year for all of us, and we just want to do something nice. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Life Day, all the things. Pendor Joy, Shalom. Merry Christmas.